Hi everyone. Today I am using up some scraps from an old cocoa, well it's not that old, but it's oldish, cocoa vanilla range called These Days. And I've literally got a few little pieces left and half a pack of ephemera. So I decided, I love this one, I love this collection, it's really pretty, but I decided I'd try and use it up. So I came across this on Pinterest. It's a picture from the actual Cocoa Vanilla studio on Instagram, and I haven't got that piece of paper, so I've replaced it with a bit of spotty background paper that I had in a very old pack of spare paper, really just odd random pieces. I don't know if you can see, but it's actually got some sparkle on it. I don't know whether you'll be able to see that, but anyway, these little dots are actually sparkles, and the photo I've decided to use is a very old one. It's a proof from when I got married, which was 43 years ago. So I have scrapped it once before, which is why it's got glue and things all over it, but the reason I'm scrapping it again is I didn't like that layout. It was one I did in the early days, so I've pulled it all apart, and you can still see the actual proof mark on the side like they used to do in the old days. And I'm using this because on the Spoonful of Scraps Facebook page, they've challenged us to use a musical story, and this was about the only thing that I could come across that was remotely musical. And what happened was, back in the day, they actually used to put like a butter or margarine pot over the lens. They don't do that now, of course, but many years ago they did. And they had this "We've Only Just Begun" lyrics and background over the lens of the camera. So that's how I got that picture, because they didn't do things like, you know, superimposing and filters and all that in those days. So I've got this picture, and the challenge was to include some musical notes and to use black and white. So I've got black and white on the photographs and some musical notes, and I'm actually going to use a clock, which is acetate, somewhere in amongst it. It's not on there, it's not on the image that I've chosen to try and replicate, but I'm going to use this just so that I've got the black and white and I've got everything else. So I'm going to start. I have already cut some of these pieces of paper just because it's boring to watch someone cut, and I had a piece of this lovely rainbow coloured paper left, and on the back is this spotty green one. I like to ink the edges of my papers because I don't like seeing the white, and so I'm going to ink the edge, but that was the wrong green, so I'm going to put that one back and get a different green because that was too dark. And I've got this one from Versacolor called Celadon, and it's actually one I use an awful lot. I don't know why I've managed to use this a lot. I don't do that many green layouts, I wouldn't have thought, but I do use it. I think because it's soft, it's a nice soft colour. So I'm just inking around the edges now, and then I shall stick the this piece of paper down. I never measure, I just eyeball it, and it's just the way I roll. People say to me, how do you work so quickly? I don't know how you can do it so quickly. Well, because I don't measure anything. I really am lazy when it comes to that. So yeah, I'm just eyeballing it. There's 4 dots that side, 4 dots that side, 3 dots at the bottom and 4 at the top, but I'm okay with that. I don't mind it being towards the bottom. So I use my trusty Easy Runner Grand to stick the bits of paper down, and then there was a piece of this lovely floral paper, but I actually need the back for this layout because I am just copying today. I very rarely do this where I actually copy, but today I'm copying because it's a really lovely layout, that one, and it is using up the last of my Cocoa Vanilla These Days scraps. Again, using the same ink pad just to ink around the edges, just so that it loses that white stark edge. And again, using my Easy Grand Runner. Oh, I can't put my teeth in. Say it again. And I'm using the dots actually to line it up to make sure it's straight today. That's that. And then this one goes at a slightly different angle down here. And again, inking the edges just to get rid of that white edge. I have got finger daubers and all that for the inks, but I'm just as happy with a little mini ink pad. And the Versamark are quite dry, and I prefer that because when it's dry, it doesn't sort of make a really mucky edge along the outside. Luckily, this gingham paper has got a line as well, so I can see again that that's quite straight. So pop that on there. That's that. Now I don't have a lot of paper left in my, this is literally all I've got left, literally everything I have in the actual papers now from this kit. So I'm going to find just something to map that photograph on, and I think just to make it pop out a bit, I'm going to do a black background, although actually that will get lost on the edge there, won't it? That's a bit of the paper from when I stuck it down before, so I'll rip that off. Don't want the pink showing when I had it on my previous layout. I do that sometimes, just redo a layout. I do keep a lot of my first layouts, but you know, at the end of the day, does it matter if you've scrapped it once before? No, it doesn't. And I sometimes scrap another photo, but I'll keep the original layout. But now I need a white piece of white card to mount this on. So I keep a drawer next to my desk which has got odds and ends in it of white cardstock or creamy cardstock. As you can see, this one's got a bit bent, but it fits on there okay. So I'll cut off the curly bits. Oops. So that will just be getting in my way while I'm trying to work. Stick these down. I like a very fine border. I like quite a slim border around my pictures, and you know, this is going to be covered up because it's a bit mucky already. It's got the glue on it, it's got the proof on it as well, so I want to get rid of that. So I like quite a fine border, just using my trusty little guillotine that I bought, or was bought for my very first year that I started crafting. So it's about 12 years old now, this thing. I don't keep little scraps like that. I've got enough scraps and things. I don't need to keep bits like that. Okay, so on the image I first had, it had a landscape photo. Mine's portrait, but I'm not worried by that. I'm one of those people that just don't worry about things like that, because at the end of the day, does it matter if it's landscape or portrait? I'm using 2mm deep foam tape, which I like. I have 1mm deep and 2mm, but I seem to be out of 1mm at the moment, so I'm just using the 2mm. It's better than all those individual pads. So then I'm putting this here in the middle, somewhere central-ish. That looks about right. There you go. And what I want to do is tuck this clock in. So where's the 12? There's the 12 at the top. I'm going to pop this under there. No, in fact, I think I'm going to pop it over this side, because on there's a cluster of flowers here and a cluster of flowers at the top. So I want the 12 at the top. So where's the 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I don't think it's a proper clock. 10, 11, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. So I'm going to stick that down there, and I'll need to cover the fact that it's got a bit missing out of the edge here. It's got a bit missing because I think it's just, again, it's a little scrappy left over. Now, I use pin flare glue to stick things down. I find that quite handy for sticking transparent things. And again, I will be putting, what's it called? Flowers there, that's what it's called. I'll be putting flowers and things over this, and so you won't see it anyway, but you can't see it really. You'd have to really get a microscope out to see that. And I've got the 12 here at the top. I don't know. It's fine. You're not going to see a lot of it anyway, to be honest. So there's the 12 at the top. You're not going to see a lot of it because I'm going to put flowers and ephemera on it. Something that I also want to do is put a title on it. I don't want Love These Days as they put over there because we've only just begun. So I don't know. I'll find something in a minute. I haven't planned that. I'm just going to look in my stash of bits and pieces and see what I've got. So I've got these ephemera bits that are left over from this pack of ephemera, which is mainly flowers. These days flowers, floral ephemera. I bought 2 packs because I really liked this collection. I bought this collection, the die cut ephemera. Oh, Happy Together. If I've still got that, I don't think I have. I think I've already used that. Happy Together would have been good for a title for this one. But I've got these, anyway, these ephemera as well. So I'm going to use these flowers. Now, they are a bit dull when they're dead flat like this. So I do tend to just run my thumbnail over it. I usually keep my right thumbnail quite long just for that reason, really, as much as anything. Just to pretty it up a little bit, just to give them a little bit more dimension. And I think when you're making a cluster, it's good to have different levels. Don't put everything flat. So as I say, sometimes I use the 1mm foam tape, sometimes I use 2, and quite regularly I use my pin flare, because then you can sort of push it up and down because it's a gel, and to the height that you want. Again, leaves, just give them a little bit of a curl, purely and simply, just to give them a bit more interest. You see how flat that is? It doesn't look anything compared to that, and it looks far prettier. And I know they will flatten down a bit when you put them in the page protectors in the album, if it makes it that far. But this is generally all I'm doing, just, you know, prettying up these bits, really. I'll have a look at my thickers collection in a minute, see if I've got a title that will work, because I don't think I've got the Happy Together in that other ephemera pack. The other thing I need to do is add some sort of musical notes in the background, because in the Spoonful of Scraps challenge it does say add a treble clef or something like that. So what I'm going to do, I've got a scrap of paper here. Not going to use that one. I've got a scrap of paper here which is musical notes, and it doesn't match with anything. It's not a good match at all, but just to comply, I'm going to cut a piece of this musical note paper. I'll make it sort of an inch and a half, and then I'm just going to tuck it in here at the top. I won't worry that it's actually longer. Oh, I'll just chop it off, but I wouldn't have worried, but because I'm going to put some flowers up this end as well. So and again, where's my ink pad? Just ink around the edges, just to take off that sharp edge. Didn't need to do the bottom really, because that's going to be under the photograph. So again, little run with a tape runner, pop that out there, and that's that. So now I've got to organise these flowers, and I could fussy cut some more from here if I need any. But I won't do that just at the moment. I find it's quite dull watching people fussy cut, and I am a very fast person in most things I do, so I can fussy cut quite quickly. But I just think it's a little bit boring watching someone fussy cut. But I might need a couple of these smaller ones, so you might just have to bear with me on some of these. So for now, I'm just going to, I want to put that leaf over there so it covers up that bit that's just missing out of there. That's the beauty of scrapbooking, isn't it? You can hide all manner of things you can hide. You can see the clock. I still want the clock to be poking through. And then I think probably I want a different colour there. I don't want 2 yellows next to each other. But then having said that, I've got 2 oranges next to each other then, and I prefer the yellow one. So the yellow one's going back in, the yellow one's there. That one's there. I'm definitely going to need a couple of smaller ones. So that's okay. Actually, I prefer that one. Yeah, that's okay. Then I'll make a collection, a little cluster at the top as well. So get out my trusty pin flare. That's what I'm going to use today. pin flare comes with a little nozzle top to stop it from drying out, although if you leave it more than a couple of days it will still dry out anyway. Just going to put that there so that it doesn't move. Put that on there so it covers up the proof logo. And then the yellow one was what I was going to use, wasn't it? Yeah, the yellow one there. And then the small orangey coloured one there. I haven't got any of the bluey ones left. I've already used the bluey and the green flowers on other layouts. This one's not glued down, of course, so I'll stick that down like that. Don't want to cover up the wording we've only just begun, because that's sort of relevant to the photograph, really. That's my husband. Hold on a sec. Yes, please. Sorry, that's my lunch coming. That was good. Didn't expect that, so that's why I had to shout. Do apologise. Yeah, I think we're more or less done, really. Do I want that in? Yeah, I'm going to put that in. I don't think I do actually need to fussy cut any other flowers. So I've got 2 flowers left. I could use these as a title, and I could have it here. I could put Happy Together, couldn't I? Because I thought that was quite a good title. I don't think there's anything else. I've got a love planner here that would be a nice one to use up as well. Here, put that in there. Love. Maybe let's do the Happy Together first, and then once I've just got the Happy Together in place, I can decide if I'm going to add any more ephemera. Right, and because it's gingham and it's got little checks on it, I can actually see where I need to put these. I hope I've got enough letters. I think I have quite a few of these left. I like scrapping old photographs. I don't know if anyone else does that, but just every so often I get out an old photo and I think, oh, that was so lovely time. It's usually E's I run out of. I don't know about you guys. I'm always running out of E's. E's and O's, more so than anything else, actually. Nearly there, guys. Won't take too long. And then that's what my husband's going to shout again in a minute and tell me my sandwich is ready. That's good. Had my lunch made today. Yay! It's the simple things in life, isn't it? Even if it is only a sandwich. Oops, too close. See, I've only got 1 E left now on this set. They go very quickly. And that's it. Happy Together. So I think that's it. Let's have a little look now, see if I'm going to add any of this ephemera. Love should go on here, really. It is a wedding photo, isn't it? They're funny, these banners. They're not very British, are they? Obviously it means something in America, but where they're designed. I don't know, perhaps I'll stick that on. Just stick a wiggly one on. Love. Don't think I want to cycle. I don't want home. I don't want people curled up. Our story. That's quite a good one. Our story. Okay, again, just a little bit on the back to secure it. Tuck it under that musical note. Don't want a typewriter. Don't want home. Don't want a house, and I don't want sweet. happy together. That will do. And I think I'm more or less done here now. I'm just going to add a few enamel dots. I've got some. There goes. Just looking for my enamel dots. I keep all my dots and things in a box, all labelled up with enamel dots. Some of these go. Not really. Have a rummage. I think these will go. These are the slightly darker colour. This is an Echo Park pack, but it's close enough. Slightly darker, but it does work. So I'll put these in as well. Put these, and this is a greeny coloured one as well. So put that in there. I like to sort of spread out my threes. I usually have 2 or 3 clusters of threes. Yellow, peach, and a paley blue colour. And that is my very quick and easy, because I copied, scrapbook layout.